I'm Mr. Gray T. And I've got a few questions from people about how to start this journey, if you want to call it that, about how to be able to do the things that me and a few others and many others are able to do. And I'll tell you, at first it seems like a whole lot of work, and it feels like that, sort of. But it's more like you just kind of learn as you go along, and you'll get it, I promise you. But first comes some important information, that basic understanding of things that you need to know, so you can kind of understand what you're doing and how it affects it. And I'll tell you what, I started out, I didn't really know. I was just, like, I guess I understood energy in a pretty good sense, but I started doing psychokinesis or telekinesis, whichever one you want to call it. But I started with that, and then I really didn't want to open up too much because I saw the other stuff they were doing. I was like, oh man, that's gonna be a lot of work, and this and that. And I was like, well, and then Michael Grubb just inspired me, and I was like, all right. So opened up, and then now I'm completely moved away from that, because that uses inner energy, and there's different types of it. Yeah, all this is basically just energy, and using it, and understanding it. But and then from there I'll open up, and I started going to the other fields, and I'm so glad I did, because now I have a whole better understanding. Now, one of the most important things to understand is, like, you have to have unconditional love and the golden rule. Now I'm gonna get into pretty deep stuff here, but science has just figured out, like, certain emotions heat up different parts of the body, and love is, like, strongest because it heats up chest and the arms, and that's why when you have unconditional love, you can connect to things more, and that's all this is. It's all about connecting into this world. Now, you're already in this world because you are connected, but you just haven't realized it fully. And you can think of it in terms of a computer, like compatibility. Say, like, this world is Windows 8, and then say I'm Windows 10. Now, if I were to go to Windows 8, it ain't gonna understand what I am, or it's not even gonna I'm not even gonna probably exist to it. But it's in one of two things can happen. Either I'm gonna have to be reformatted to be able to fit or get things to share with it, or I'm gonna pass right through it. It's all about integration, I guess you could say. But if you take a .exe file on your computer and make a copy of it, so you don't ruin the original one, and then rename it as a .txt file, and then you open it up, it's going to look like a bunch of gibberish, and that's basically like a Windows 10 to Windows 8, or any other two different kind of variances of software. But basically that's pretty much it. And like, if there was another being or something that came here, depending on the variances, its DNA is going to have to be restructured to fit this dimension so we can see it as something. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to see it or even know it's there. Or it's just going to fall through or disrupt things. But anyway, with that, it's about connecting into, like, it's using energy. And energy, you can there's different variances of vibrations which create different levels of energies, and these variances, you can start reading and understanding them. You can start connecting in and then moving it, because yours is, like, higher than it. But unconditional love is important to understand, because with that is that it allows us to have the strongest connection available. And when you have it, you gotta love everything as one thing. And the golden rule is, that's one of the most important things you can ever understand, which is treat others the way you want to be treated. Simple as that. And if the world did that, follow that rule, though, it would be a whole lot better. The world would be a whole lot better. No, the world would be a whole lot better. So, I mean, just think about it. I mean, a lot of people know the golden rule, they don't ever think about it. And it's really important to understand that. But something you have to understand is you have to meditate. No, meditation can be different depending on, there's different types of meditations, and there's different things you can do with meditation. There's a lot of things you can, and meditation is like an absolute key to unlocking any of this other stuff. If you meditate, it opens up all the doors for possibilities for you to do anything, literally. But now let me tell you, this stuff is not evil, and this stuff is just using your mind over matter. I mean, we only use 10%. I mean, why else do we even have a brain? In fact, let me tell you something. People say this stuff is like, oh, it's scary. Look at that. Immediately. Look at this. Immediately. I don't know if you see that or not. Look at this. Look at that. But this stuff right here, people say this stuff is scary. No, you know what's really scary? Is just how connected everything actually is. Let me tell you what's scary. People say this is all creepy. Me connecting to this and doing this. And what's scary is that you connecting to another person and affecting them and at so many levels they can come back around to you. And like you get injured or you get mad at somebody and then you ruin their whole lives because of that action. That's scary, not this. See, humanity is. Let me get into that a little bit. Humanity is, especially science, is just categorize and organize all the world around us to give it names and give it value and different things like that. But when really, in actuality and in absolute trueness, there is no true meaning or value to anything. But we're like co-creators, and that's why this stuff is able to. Apparently, it does have some kind of value because we do stuff. We're advancing in some sense, as we would call it. Something. We're making some kind of progress. So why? And that's because, as Michael Monk has made a video about co-creation, and we are like part of the creator, and we have our own minds to think and create ourselves. So therefore, it has possibility to become real. As a collective consciousness of humanity, we can focus on one thing. If we focus on it, if there's so many that can focus on it as a whole more than there's a majority. There's a majority of us focusing on one particular thing, and it could become has the possibility to become real. So that's why that exists. Now that means that we can create all kinds of new things and abilities and understanding and things like that. Sorry, yeah. We have all the potential in the world to do all kinds of stuff. I mean, like seriously, we can do a lot more than what you think. Meditation, and again, meditation opens up all these other doors because it is key. Now I don't meditate like I'm always supposed to, but well, if you meditate on unconditional love and have love for every little thing, it's kind of like almost like an automatic thing. So I'm always, in a sense, I'm always meditating because I'm always trying to be in that state of unconditional love and giving all love to everything around me, always, constantly, and it just becomes like it becomes part of you. What you focus on is what becomes part of you. Like you start to become it. You can start learning all kinds of things, and meditation also opens up a lot of doorways to like knowledge. Like Einstein meditated, he was in the corner and let his mind drift, and that's where a lot of his formulas and ideas came from. Some of them, which was form of meditation. He would go into a passive state, or even probably and there's different types of meditation like theta brainwave state, which is like the moment right before you fall asleep. If you can hold that, you can do out of body experience, things like that. But he would meditate, and that's where he got some of his knowledge. And when you meditate, you'll just start getting these downloads or uploads, because down's a negative term, as Michael Mark said, and kind of agree. But as you meditate, you'll get like just information from the universe and the collective consciousness of man, just knowledge, like whoa, crazy stuff. And all this stuff seems very hard at first. I started off with psychokinesis or telekinesis, and I was kind of closed. I just wanted to focus on that at first. That's just what I wanted to do. But I found out there's more than one energy. There's inner energy and outer energy, and it took me a little while to get all this. And I started in December, and I've learned so much now. But Michael Webb inspired me after seeing a lot of his aerokinesis videos. I was like, wow. So I opened up a little, and then, wow, here, I'll just, wow. And I was like, okay. So now I'm completely away from psychokinesis or telekinesis. Now I just do the other stuff, the other fields that I've been focusing on. And it's been a great experience. And you just gotta be curious, open up to all of them. But anyway, so you have to understand, if you follow the golden rule, have unconditional love in your heart for every little thing equally, always meditate on love and things like that, I promise you will get to a better state. You'll have better health. Your brain capacity will increase, like your memory ability. Like in speech class, we had to do like speeches, like we had to write them out, and then we had to like do like a little short way so he can jog around, which I didn't use any anyway, because if I looked at the paper, if I had the paper up there with me, I was gonna look at it, and I was not gonna look up at all. So I had to memorize mine. At first, I wrote like 4 pages, and then I memorized it within a week. And then my last speech, it was like 6 pages long, and somehow I memorized it in 2 days, because I was meditating more and things like that, and I was just like, wow, because it really, really opens up things and helps you, everything increases your health and all. And there's like glands in your body that you can focus and channel energy through now. All this stuff is energy, and you have to connect into what's called the flow, or just connecting in general. You have to realize that you are part of all this. We're all living here existent in this one-dimensional plane, because we're formatted to it. And that's where we can talk and interact with things. It seems so weird and stuff, but really, it's normal. Quite no more normal than you think. And that's not scary as you not following the golden rule and you ending up hurting someone else or whatever, and then affecting all the rest of their lives, which will come back around to you eventually. That's scary. That you have got to understand this how important it is. You have got to treat others the way you want to be treated. You have to have unconditional love for every little thing and one. That is so important. I wrote a story actually in my notes. A kid named Alex, and he loves to run. And then there's a new kid in school who's really mad, and he sees Alex running because that's what he loves to do. And he has two choices. He can either one, tell him that he sucks and he'll never amount to anything, and you'll never be good enough for anything. Or two, you're doing a great job. If you keep going and keep pressing, you'll be even in the Olympics one day. We'll say he says the first one. Well, that sits into Alex. It starts to press him, and he's in high school, by the way. And their school's having a race, and Mark has a sister. Mark is Alex's friend. Mark has a sister who's diseased, and he needs money to get her cured. However, in the race, I'm just going to say there's not really any betting, I guess, but we're just going to, for this, just let it be. But Mark bets on the race that Alex would win. Well, Alex was still kind of down because of what that guy said to him. So now imagine that guy being you, by the way. Put yourself in that shoes. That's another important thing. You've got to put yourself in other people's shoes. Try that. You'll learn a lot just by simply doing that. But anyway, now, after you told him that, he's feeling depressed. So he loses the race. Mark didn't get the money. And then now Mark's sister dies because he didn't have the money for it. Now Mark commits suicide. Now, yeah, that's pretty hard to think about. But now that he's done that, Alex is even more depressed. And as he's going through school, his grades starting to fail and things are getting worse. Now people start blaming him for Mark's death, which doesn't help him at all. And now he's really being affected by things. He drops out of high school. He becomes a drunk. He's drunk one night, and then another guy asked him, "Oh, hey, you wanna go to a club?" And Alex is like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So they both go to a club. They come back. They're both drunk. Mark decides. The other guy is like so drunk he can't even think straight. So he tells Alex to drive, and Alex is like, "Okay, well I'll drive, but I'm not very good, and we're kind of drunk." But anyway, they run like 2 red lights, and then they run into Alex's own family, which really sucks. And here's what happens here. Alex loses his mother, and his father loses like several parts of his body. He's almost dead, and then he kills the other man. And now Alex is also injured because his legs are paralyzed, and he's paralyzed from the waist down. So now he has to get his legs amputated. Which if he ever had the intention of going back to running, now it's completely gone. Now he can never run again. So now he's in a wheelchair, and as soon as he gets out of the doctor, he's so depressed, he wants to commit suicide. So he goes out into the middle of the road, and a log truck comes by and smacks him. Now, here's the thing is about that, is that the man in the log truck, he was going fast because he was trying to save his daughter. She was having some kind of, like, say, an asthma attack. She was about to die. And they were going to the hospital, and he wasn't able to stop in time, or even stop at all, because he was going so fast because he had to get to the doctor to save his daughter. Now, the thing is that after Mar has done this, that guy in the driver truck is you, and that is your daughter. So, because what you said that first time, when you said about him not being able to run or never being good enough because you were mad, and you chose that decision, that went all the way back around you. And it came back straight to you. And things like that do happen, I promise you. Things like that do happen. That's why every little choice you make and do is important. Now, say he says the second thing, well, Mark has a successful career in running, and then he goes to the Olympics and he wins like first place. And 2 little choices the smallest things in life can make the biggest difference. I mean, everything starts small, right? So think about that. It's very, very important. You can make the world a difference by simply holding. On Facebook, I was reading a post about how this guy was like sick of. I think he was like sick of holding doors open for people because that's what he does. And like I said, dude, you can make a world of difference just by simply holding a door open to somebody. That could change their whole perspective of life. They could think, oh wow, that guy really cared enough to hold that door for me, and that can set in and really affect them. And like, wow, that how nice that really is. He actually thought about me. That stuff's important. I mean, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And another thing about that, when you look around, go out in the nature and just explore it. Just look at it. Look at the beauty of it. There's a whole world out there that a lot of people are missing. There's a big picture they're not seeing at all, not even in perspective. But there's a whole world out here, guys. It's beautiful. And then you start just understanding it. You just observe it. If you just observe what happens, things will start happening. I'm gonna tell you something. Meditation. Just meditate. Focus on. And let me tell you how to meditate. Well, the ground's a little wet, but you can stay anywhere you want to, across the sky, whatever. The first way you should meditate is just close your eyes. Just focus on your breath. Breathe in. Take a deep breath in. Focus on it and let it out. And then feel that breath as you go in and out. Do this several, like 10 times, just for the first time. And then just try feeling that. Feeling your breath throughout your whole body, in your blood, in your oxygen, and all that. And what you're going to be doing is that you're increasing your nerves, like your understanding of feeling. And just like when you're, and this is something from Michael Lump, but just like, muscles are for exercising, and that's why you get stronger. Well, nerves are for feeling, and you can exercise them too and get stronger, and you can start feeling stuff way out here, and you can expand that awareness way out, and even to the whole world, and you can feel everything, like everything. If you haven't watched the movie Lucy, behind Kurt, they pretty much set the whole thing into perspective, how it all kind of fits together. But just by simple meditating, it can unlock all that stuff and more. Just anything. It's amazing. We can do almost anything, guys. Anything. This is the true nature of co-creation, and it's like, which is something Michael Monk has also said in a video that he made about co-creation. Like, we're part of the creator. Since we're all just one giant thing, it means we're still connected to the creator, and that means we're just co-creators. That's why we even got a brain. If we got a brain, we should use it to do stuff like this. I mean, that's what it's for. I mean, and this stuff is not as scary as you you telling Alex he's not going to be able to amount to nothing, and then all that goes back to a full circle right back to you. Things will come back around. What goes around comes back around. And that's very true. Very true. So if you love everything else around you, it loves you back in a sense. And that's what you do. Now, after you start meditating, understanding, you're basically understanding more about energy too. You'll start getting a little knowledge here and there, and you'll learn as you go. And then you'll start getting understanding about energy more and more. And if you go to the video where I showed you how to feel energy, do that. Continue meditating, and you'll start being able to feel the energy between your hands. I can do it almost immediately now. Where I don't even need to rub my hands anymore. That just helps stimulate your nerve fibers and get them going. And now I don't even need to do it. And I've done it to tons of people now. And I told them to put their hands in my hand, between my hands, and they'll immediately feel a tingle or something. That's it. That's energy. It's beautiful. And then with that same feeling, you go up to a tree or something, and you just understand it, love it, and just connect with it. See it as a whole thing, as part of you. Just ask it to give you energy, and eventually you'll feel like almost like the same thing with your hands, but it's a little bit lighter or real more intense. And then when you have that's the float. You're in the float. You are connected. And then with that, you just give it back, and then connect it to your breath in, and then push it out, and then it'll just go. And then that's basically the start of it, and you can do anything. And there's like different states of awareness and like levels, I guess you could say it. But I'm still not entirely sure about it. But like, oh yeah, I want to touch up on another little thing real fast. This whole New Age idea, I don't really like connecting what I'm doing to it, because in my heart, I feel it has nothing to do with the New Age. We might exist in a sense of the New Age, but I'm not part of it at all. In a sense, I guess if that makes sense. So, it's okay, but I'm not don't compare any of this to New Age, because this is something, I don't know what this New Age stuff really is, truly. I just leave it as it is, and don't put it into in any kind of accordance with this. This is I don't focus as this part of being anything with a New Age. That's something else. I don't know what that is. This is just being aware of your surroundings and understanding. See, everything comes from within. You project outward what you see, and the more of what you understand, observe, and want to become, that's what you'll start to see. You'll start to see. If you want to know the truth, you'll start to see the truth. What's really out here, like grid lines and points and just all kinds of things. And it can be scary. So you got to be careful and limit yourself and pace yourself and just keep going. And I promise you, you will unlock something. Because I used to be closed-minded, and now I'm more open and I understand things. I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff is real. It's nothing to it. It's a lot to take in at first, but if you just kind of go with it, just breathe in and out, you'll get it. And another thing, now as you meditate, now when you want to get a little bit more meditation, there's 7 glands, and I'm focused on breathing in, and then there's like glands, and I'll circle it into that gland, or think of them as spheres. There's 7 colorful spheres with rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Yeah, and then there's 7 of them that run up your body, called the chakra column, and these are what regulate moods and health related things. If you get these like balanced, it can give you a better state of health, and you can connect more easily. That's why people meditate. But when you meditate, you can fill these up with like air, purify them, and then breathe out the bad stuff. And then you can do this for each one. I do it several ways sometimes. I'll breathe in and go through each one, out, next one, out, or go up though, and then out, out, out. You know, just keep doing that. Or sometimes I'll just go, or I'll do that. Then at the end, I'll just take one deep breath and go all the way down, back up, then out, or up, back down, then whichever way you want to do it. And sometimes I'll just go through each one and go to this one, go to the next one, go to the next one, or this way, and then up, then out, which that can take a little while because you have to hold your breath longer. But do that set with each one. I do that sometimes. Like I'll do it like 3 times with each one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You know, just over and over. And then keep doing that, and then you'll feel better too. You'll start feeling like, oh, this feels good. You'll be able to connect and understand more. And when you meditate, you will gain just tons of information from the universe and the collective consciousness of humanity. It's beautiful. It's like, whoa, it's very eye-opening. It's amazing. You just start learning this stuff and like, oh my gosh, because you're, a co-creator, and you're opening your mind up. You're letting, and then information just starts flowing right into you. You're like, whoa, and you just start learning. There's a lot of science behind this, guys, but that's what's so cool about it. You just start learning this stuff as you go, and you'll want to do more stuff. You're like, oh my goodness, and it's good, and it's like, whoa. All this stuff there's nothing really special. We think of them as powers, but they're not really powers. They're just part of us. That's all it is. It's all just connecting to it and just going with the flow. And everything's all synced together, guys. It's all like this. You just gotta open your eyes and realize it. There's a lot more than what we can do. We can do a lot more than what we think we can do. Meditation is key. Have unconditional love for every little thing out there. Understand that you are part of this whole system of co-creation that we're doing. We're always doing. We as humanity are creating, and so on and so on and so on. But we're all part of each other in a sense. Just gotta open up and just realize, oh my gosh. I mean, I know this stuff sounds crazy, but I promise you, just meditate and just meditate, and the doors will open up, and you will understand this stuff. It'll just start, and then like what you think you know now is gonna be like nothing compared to what you know as you're doing this, and then even this, I have a constant feeling, well, I know there's a whole lot more. So truly, I still don't know anything, but it feels. But a lot of people are like, dude, what are you talking about? It's like genius, and essentially that's what you become as you do this. You become a genius because you're learning all this amazing stuff. Really and truly, you're no more of a genius than an ant, because you think you know a lot, but there's a whole lot more even after that. You just keep going on and on and on. And you just gotta open up. That's all there is to it. You gotta open up. Follow the golden rule. I can't stress that enough. The golden rule is beautiful. That is, if there had to be any kind of true value, that rule must have some kind of value in the universe. That's beautiful. That's just awesome. If everybody would just follow that, the world would be a whole lot better place, and my life will just be so much better. It really would. So, that's pretty much it. And, once you meditate and these doors open, just start doing stuff, man. Just try. Just try to go out there and connect with that tree and just feel the tree. You know, be part of the tree. Because our brain decodes stuff in different, like, variances, I guess you could say. Like, but it's really all, but you can connect everything together and see it as something else. Like, everything goes to your sight, so you start seeing what you hear, smell, taste, and what you already see. And then you can go to your ears and you can not only you can hear what you see, or it sounds crazy, but all that stuff's possible and so much more. If you unlock the rest of your brain, you can do anything, like, literally. And that's where you also need but that's why if you don't understand unconditional love and you don't have love for everything and follow that golden rule and meditate and be focused on it, you're not ever gonna get access to it, because if you have intentions of doing wrong things with it, you're not gonna get it. Period. You're not gonna get it. You have to understand this other stuff first, so that you can get a better understanding and being very careful what you do, because you affect everything else. That's what all this stuff is. You affect everything. So if you don't have a good understanding of like love and things like that, you're not gonna be able to connect in right, and you don't need to be using it for the wrong purposes, because it will come back around and get you. I'm telling you, it will, and it's not gonna be good. So have unconditional love for all things equally. Follow the golden rule. Stress that. Spread it. Just go and spread it out there. Stand out and be good. Just stand out and just be a wonderful human being and show others, like, guys, this is the way, man. Follow the golden rule. Have love for everything. And God bless you all. Because, when Jesus walked the earth, people were more into healing and things like that, because they were a different kind of makeup. It was like 555. And then it was 666, and now we're like 777, because 666 was carbon, and now we're diamond. 777, in a sense. Now, if you want to ask anything about that, just email me, anonymous.thinker, and that's anonymous with zeros instead of O's, .thinker@gmx.com. That's my email. With that, namaste, and love to you all. God bless you all. And that's another thing. Now, when I say namaste, I don't mean Hinduism. I'm just saying I respect you, and I respect myself. I just want you to respect me, my beliefs, and I'll respect your beliefs. Golden rule, right? That's all I'm saying, and it's just a good word. That's a really good. That word is really powerful, because that means that you're giving him the respect and loyalty, and that someone else can deserve, because you don't know what they're going through or anything about the belief. So I just respect it. So again, I'm standing up for love to you all, and just go for it, guys. This stuff is awesome. Get rid of the ego too, because the ego is messed up, man. Don't want to have too much pride in there, It's great to do all this stuff, but it's not about this. These are just, look at that. These are just side effects. The real thing is connecting in. It's just connecting into this stuff. There you go. So, God bless you all. I love you all. Follow the golden rule. That's absolutely important.